What's up guys, welcome to the Colmar Project, and on this episode I'm going to show you guys step by step how I built this circular curved patio, and we're going to talk about how much to dig down so you guys are even with your grade. We're going to talk about all the tools and materials as well, and most importantly how to get the curve and put down your pavers. So stick around and let's get this project started. Okay, with any patio you want to go ahead and actually lay out your design first. In my case it's a circle, and then you want to start digging. There's a lot of digging involved, so hopefully you got a little companion like me, and Thor decided he's gonna supervise on this project. While I was digging, my delivery showed up, which consisted of 125 Brussels block pavers in small, medium, and large sizes, 3 tons of CA6 driveway gravel, which is also used for patios, a half a ton of sand, which is going to create the base for us for our pavers, and actually showed up in this torpedo silo thing, which was kind of cool. And some polymetric sand. That's what's actually going to lock your pavers in place. Once I signed for the delivery, it was back to digging. And let me tell you guys, digging 9 inches down on a 12-foot diameter circle is hard work. And even Thor wasn't impressed. But I got it done, and it was time to water it a bit so that the ground could start compacting. And once it dried, I started with the tampering. And at this point, guys, I really wish I rented a plate compactor. Pounding that ground in submission is not easy work. I laid 3/4 inch conduit across my circle and then measured down from it. That way I knew exactly how deep I was and how much gravel I needed to put in. Then I pounded in a couple of stakes and marked my fill line, and then started putting in all the gravel. That was a lot of wheelbarrows of gravel. Once I had enough gravel to fill about 4 inches of my circle, at least I thought it was 4 inches, I started spreading it out with a shovel as even as I could, because then the tampering comes and more watering. And while you're watering, just enjoy life a little bit. Have a drink and admire the scenery. Once the first level of gravel was compact, I added a couple more wheelbarrows until I got 6 inches of gravel, and then I checked it for level and pitch. I did that by putting a level on the conduit and verifying that it was all good before continuing. Then I watered it one last time, and more tampering action. Of course, this whole project is about tampering. You're definitely going to get a workout. After my well-deserved nap, I cut 3/4 inch PVC piping, which actually has the outer diameter of 1 inch, into 4 pieces, which I placed roughly 3 feet apart inside my circle. Then I dumped a couple of wheelbarrows of paver sand into my circle and used the shovel to spread it around roughly 1 inch thick, using the PVC pipe as a guide. Before I get too deep into this project, I realized I forgot to remark my circle perimeter, which I did with a string and a can of spray paint. This will allow me to have a good reference when laying down the flexible PVC brick edging. I got mine from my local landscape supplier, but you can purchase this at any big box hardware store. So the PVC edging will bend into almost any shape you want, so the possibilities are endless. I will leave a link to this and all the tools and supplies I use in this video in the description below, so you guys can check it out for yourself. And it is secured using some spikes that typically will come with the PVC edging, or you can buy them separately. I started using a level to spread the sand, but with the hand holes in it, it made a little bit more sense to use a 2x4. I used the back and forth motion to spread the sand evenly in the circle, and this technique works great every time. This is not a difficult process, guys. You just have to be conscious of where the PVC pipe is laying so that you don't dig more into one side than the other. But after a few passes, you guys will get the hang of it. Once I had the sand level and smooth, I pulled out the PVC pipes one by one, making sure I didn't remove them completely. I'm going to need them to complete the rest of the circle. Then I filled in the holes left by the pipes with some more sand, using a masonry trowel to smooth and level everything out. Once I finished that, it was finally time to start laying down some pavers. And with this process, you don't need any force or wiggling the pavers into place. You just need to gently lay them down on the sand base. It will support the stone's weight and even my weight, which is saying a lot. And with that, it's just a repetitive process of spreading the sand, leveling it, and putting down more pavers until you get to the border. If you're doing a border, that is. But we will get to that in a minute, but for now, check out this 30-second time lapse that took me all day to do. Okay, maybe it was 60 seconds, but in that time, I was able to get Honey Bunny to come outside and start tracing the border of the patio while I got ready for the cutting. I'm using a regular grinder with a wet-dry masonry diamond plate. And no, it's not made out of diamonds, just diamond dust particles on the teeth of the plate, which make it a little bit harder than the stone. I'm not advocating anyone use a grinder without a guard, but in my case, I didn't have a guard that would cover a 7-inch blade, so I just had to be extra careful here. At this point, I've been working on the patio for about 3 days, and I will always say that 2 people on a project is always easier than 1, and this was no exception. Honey Bunny and I got into a rhythm of me cutting the pavers inside the border and her tracing them and installing. And not even Thor could slow us down. We just had to work around him since he already called dibs on the patio and was not moving. I guess that's just a bulldog for you. Yep, that's right, buddy. Get comfortable. It's all you. This patio's all you. Just don't pee on it. Please. With this being a circle design, I needed to cut some curves in the pavers. And the easiest way I found of doing that is to score the paver with the grinder about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch down and then flip it upside down and use a hammer to slowly hit the paver from one end of the cut to the other side until it breaks. Now, the cutting is going to create a lot of dust, and the best way that I found to clean it all off is to wait until the little one comes outside and then shake it all off. Just be real careful, because Mama Bear's got a great left hook and an awesome punt. But it's always amazing when the little ones come outside and help us on whatever project we have going on. And it's not about the help, it's about the time that we spend with each other, whether it's working in the backyard or just watching a movie. There's nothing better than family, because one day I know that the girls will leave home and start their own lives. And then who's gonna help me? Thor? He sleeps for like 22 hours a day. Yeah, no. And that was the last paver. And working together, we did this in about 2 hours, but we're not done yet. It's time to put down the polymeric sand. So you want to get into this awesome squat position like Honey Bunny did and dump it all over the patio. Oh, Honey Bunny, you're so cute. Okay, so after you dump it, you want to sweep the sand all over the patio. This will push the sand into the cracks, starting the paver locking process.
Hey yo, get off my patio, I call dibs.
After Thor temporarily relinquished his patio rights, we were able to start tampering by hand. And like I mentioned before, if you can rent a plate compactor, go for it. So once Honey Bunny finished tampering, I put down a second go around of polymeric sand, and we did this tampering process again. You want to do this twice of sand, tamper, so that all of your paver seams are filled in and that you don't have any voids. And this is the last step in this build. We hose the patio down, which in turn activates the polymeric sand to lock the pavers in together. It's not like concrete or mortar, but more like a rubber sand, if that makes any sense. But that's it, guys. Oh, and Thor needed a bath, which he hates. So there you go, guys. Our circle paver patio is completely done. It's 12 feet in diameter, which is perfect to put a portable fire pit and a couple chairs around. So in the evening time, we can have some friends over and have a bonfire. Now the reason for the circle is because we're building a composite deck and we wanted to add a curved feature to the deck, and that's how the circle for the patio came up, and I think it looks great. So if you like this video and want to see more DIY projects like it, let me know in the comments section below. And if you have any questions regarding this patio, how I did it or why I did some of the things I did, go ahead and put those questions too in the comments section and I'll get to them as fast as I can. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification. It helps this channel grow and lets me put projects out like this for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this experience. I'll see you guys next time. Don't move. Oh, come on. One picture. Really, dude? Now you don't want your picture taken since when? Come on. Just one good picture. You're like the kids. Come here. No, picture time. Picture. Sit. I give you a treat after you take one picture. Come here.